Okay, let's dive right into this thrilling explainer. Today, we're unpacking a supernatural mystery that is honestly just as heartbreaking as it is terrifying. We're looking at the incredibly dark narrative of Punnapuram Haveli. It's a property where a family's absolute dream home, a place they purchased with years of hard-earned savings, turns into their absolute worst nightmare. So, if you've ever felt a sudden chill in an empty room, well, this breakdown is definitely for you. We really need to start with a crucial question to hook our focus. What unseen, terrifying force is driving a family out of the very house they sank their entire life savings into? I mean, picture this. Imagine working overseas for years, pouring every dime you have into a massive, beautiful estate, only to find yourself sleeping outside in the dirt because whatever's inside that house simply won't let you stay. That is the very real, very terrifying reality our central figures are facing.
Let's kick things off with part one, the haunted Punnapuram Haveli. The terror this family faces isn't some slow, creepy buildup. It is immediate, and it is aggressive. Shekhar literally spent his entire golf job savings on this property, and almost immediately they're seeing these mysterious shadows darting around at night. Doors are violently opening and closing all on their own. The family is so utterly terrified that they gather up their belongings and sleep outside. They turn this massive financial investment into a literal house of horrors. But the most alarming symptom isn't the doors or the shadows, it's the physical violence.
Listen to Sri Devi's own words here. She's actually attacked in her sleep. An unseen entity literally chokes her. This completely shatters any comforting illusion the family might have had. It proves that this isn't just their imagination playing tricks on them, and it certainly isn't some friendly, protective presence watching over the house. No, this is an active, malicious threat.
Which brings us to part two, astrologers and false alarms. So naturally, the family desperately seeks outside help, but we immediately see a massive clash. A local, and frankly fraudulent, astrologer arrives on the scene, tosses some shells around, and gives this quick, incredibly lazy diagnosis. He actually claims the ghost is just Shekhar's deceased mother. But Shekhar's smart. He uses his own logical deduction. He knows he cared deeply for his mom, he fulfilled all her dying wishes, and she loved them. There's absolutely no way she would return as an evil spirit just to choke her own daughter-in-law.
And you want proof that this astrologer is completely out of his depth? In what is honestly a brief moment of comedic relief in a super tense narrative, the haunted house proves to be way too much even for the fake expert. He senses the true danger of the property, gets absolutely terrified, and literally runs away in a sheer panic before Shekhar can even pay him his fee. Think about that. The threat is so real that a scam artist abandons his own scam. All right, let's get to the truth in part three, Savitri, the tragic origin. They finally consult a powerful tantric, and the dark history of Punnapuram Haveli is exposed. Decades ago, this estate was owned by a cruel, deeply abusive man named Marthandam. He had a beautiful maid named Savitri. When she bravely resisted his horrific assaults, Marthandam brutally murdered her and actually hung her to make it look like a tragic accident. This timeline shows us exactly how that horrific crime birthed a very powerful curse. Soon after the murder, Marthandam went completely mad, and the property sat completely abandoned for years. That is, until our guy Shekhar unknowingly bought this deeply cursed land at a discount. The tantric's ominous warning sets the ultimate stakes here. They aren't dealing with a standard run-of-the-mill ghost or a confused spirit. They are dealing with a highly vengeful yakshini. That's an incredibly powerful spirit born out of intense trauma, sheer injustice, and a burning, centuries-old desire for revenge. So how does this affect the living? Let's look at part four, a family divided. You see, a haunting like this forces an intense emotional wedge right into the middle of a family. On one side, we have love. Shekhar's nephew, Vishnu, is deeply in love with Shekhar's daughter, Revati, and he is fiercely determined to stand by her, curse be damned. But on the other side, we have absolute fear. Vishnu's father is terrified of this haunted estate. He demands Vishnu break the engagement immediately and instead marry a wealthy girl named Shruti, who happens to be visiting from America. Why? Just to completely sever all ties with Shekhar's doomed family. And it is so vital to understand why this matters. This ghost isn't just scary. It is systematically destroying their lives in the real world. Shekhar is facing complete financial ruin. His golf savings? Gone. He's got mounting unpaid bank loans. And because of the stigma attached to this haunting, Vishnu is practically disowned by his own father for refusing to leave Revati. The entire family is being totally ostracized by the community and fearful relatives. So if they don't banish this ghost, they aren't just going to lose their house. They are going to lose absolutely everything. And this all builds to our climax in Part 5, the final exorcism. The Puddamana Tantric arms them with a highly specific, high-stakes game plan. First, they take 4 blessed yantras. These are powerful amulets. They must then dig holes in the exact 4 corners of the house and bury them. This creates a spiritual barrier designed to permanently block the Yakshini from entering. And as a last resort, he gives Shekhar a secret mantra to use if the spirit directly attacks them during the process. It's totally clear that their execution here must be absolutely flawless. But come on, nothing ever goes exactly to plan, does it? Just as they are frantically executing the burial of these yantras in the dead of night, the narrative throws a massive curveball. The vengeful Yakshini strikes before the barrier is complete and violently takes over Sridevi's body. The very worst-case scenario they were trying to prevent is happening right in front of their eyes. In a moment of pure adrenaline, Shekhar remembers step 4. He acts incredibly fast, loudly chanting the tantric's sacred mantra. The ancient power of the chant clashes with the dark entity, and in this frantic, dramatic resolution, he actually manages to successfully banish the spirit from his wife's body. Sridevi collapses, and she is finally free. And with the curse finally and permanently broken, that massive dark cloud lifts, and everything falls beautifully back into place. Those crushing bank loans and the financial ruin, solved, because Shekhar lands a fantastic general manager job at a shopping mall back in the Gulf. That awful family division, totally healed, as Vishnu and Revati successfully get married, proving their love was so much stronger than their fear. Confronting their absolute darkest fears literally saved their entire future. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this provocative thought. Shekhar and his family bought a house based on its price tag and its walls, completely unaware of the tragic, bloody history soaked deep into its soil.